She stood right in front of my truck, arms crossed, and yelled, "You can't drive here. This is HOA property now." I slammed the brakes just in time. The new black metal gate blocking my road still had wet cement at its base. I looked at her. Mid-50s, perfect hair, clipboard in hand, the kind of woman who believes a laminated badge makes her queen of the county. "That's my road," I said slowly. "I paved it myself." She smirked. "Not anymore. The HOA decided to extend our boundaries. You'll need to get approval before using this entrance." Approval? From her? This was the same dirt path my father used when this land was nothing but fields. I'd spent 3 weekends pouring gravel, hiring a small crew, and finally paving it so deliveries could reach my barn after the storms destroyed the old route. "Ma'am," I said, stepping out, "this is private farmland, not HOA property." She tapped her clipboard. "Not according to our new map. And until you pay the association dues, you'll keep that gate locked." I laughed, though it wasn't funny. "You mean the gate you installed without asking?" She nodded proudly. "We had to. Too many outsiders using our community roads." Before I could respond, a white SUV pulled up. 2 men in uniforms, local police, stepped out. Karen's grin widened. "There they are," she said loudly. "Officers, arrest him for trespassing." The younger cop frowned, clearly confused. "Trespassing? On this side of the gate?" "Yes," she snapped. "He's been driving through our street to get to his little farm." I pulled out a folder from my truck. Land records, permits, and one more thing she didn't know. A letter from the county infrastructure office approving my private road project. "Ma'am," I said calmly, handing it to the officer, "you might want to read that before calling me a trespasser again." She scoffed, but took a step back as the cop flipped through the papers. His expression changed. "Ma'am," he said finally, "this road isn't HOA property. It's part of a county lease granted to Mr. Miller. That gate shouldn't even be here." Karen's fake smile froze. "That can't be right. Our board approved." The cop interrupted, pointing at the wet cement. "You built this today?" She nodded hesitantly. He sighed. "Then you might want to undo it fast." Karen glared at me, her voice shaking with anger. "This isn't over. You'll regret embarrassing me in front of the police." I smiled faintly. "You'll regret touching what's mine." As she stormed off, her words echoed, but I could already feel it. This wasn't over. The HOA was about to make this road their new battlefield. And I was ready for war. 2 mornings later, I woke up to the sound of metal clanging. I rushed outside, coffee still in hand, and froze. The gate was gone. But in its place stood something worse, a bigger, motorized one with a keypad and a bright HOA logo welded right on top. And behind it, 2 security guards in neon vests leaning on their truck like they owned the place. I walked up slowly, still trying to keep calm. "Morning," I said. "You boys lost?" One of them didn't even look at me. "Private community entrance," he muttered. "Authorized residents only." I almost laughed. "You realize you're standing on my property, right?" He shrugged. "Talk to the HOA. We're just hired security." Then she appeared again. Karen, in her pastel cardigan and designer sunglasses, clipboard in hand like always. "Oh, look who decided to show up. You can't come through here without a resident code. It's HOA policy now." I took a deep breath, fighting the urge to yell. "Lady, you had no right to put this up. I built this road with county approval." She tilted her head. "That's your version, but our board says it's part of our new neighborhood expansion. You can appeal it next month if you pay the HOA fees first."
Her words hit like acid. She knew exactly what she was doing, stalling me until they could claim ownership through paperwork. "Lady," I said quietly, "you're making a big mistake." She smiled wider. "The only mistake is thinking you can build things wherever you want. Rules exist for a reason." Just then, my phone buzzed. It was a message from a friend in the county office. "Heads up, HOA just filed a claim to take your access road. They're saying it's public use property now." My stomach dropped. They weren't just bluffing. They were actually trying to steal my land. Karen must have seen the look on my face because she smirked. "What's wrong? Realizing you can't win?" I met her eyes. "Oh, I'll win. You just picked a fight you can't control." She laughed. "We'll see. Don't worry, the cops will be here again soon. I already called them." I watched her walk off, the gate humming behind her as it locked shut. I stood there in silence for a long moment, then looked at the road I'd built, my hard work, my investment, and made a decision. If the HOA wanted a war, I was done playing defense. They had no idea who they were messing with.
By noon, 3 police cruisers pulled up. Same ones from before, but this time their mood was different. They parked right behind Karen's SUV, blocking half the road like they were setting up for a parade. Karen strutted toward them, waving her papers. "Officers, this man is refusing to comply with HOA rules again. He's trespassing and threatening our staff." I stood next to my truck, arms crossed. My road, my land. I've got every permit you could imagine. The senior officer, the same one who'd seen the paperwork before, looked tired already. "Man," he said, "we've gone over this. The county records show the road belongs to Mr. Miller." Karen's tone sharpened. "That information is outdated. We filed new boundaries." The officer frowned. "Filed where?" Karen hesitated. "With our HOA board." He rubbed his forehead. "That's not how property law works." She crossed her arms. "Then maybe he forged those permits." I couldn't help but laugh. "Forge them? They're stamped by the county office, Karen." Her face reddened, but before she could respond, one of the other cops whispered something to the senior officer. He turned to me. "Sir, do you mind if we take a quick look at the new gate?" "Go ahead," I said, stepping aside. They examined the structure, noticed the deep cement anchors drilled into my pavement, and then one of them pointed to a small, blinking box hidden under the keypad. "What's this?" Karen spoke too fast. That's a tracker for gate access." The officer crouched closer. "It's not just a tracker. It's a camera system wired directly to HOA's network." He straightened up and turned toward her. "Ma'am, did you get permission to install surveillance on private property?" She blinked. "We don't need permission. It's community security." The officer's expression hardened. "Not if it's recording someone else's land. That's a violation of privacy law." Karen's confidence cracked. "You can't talk to me like that. I know the mayor personally." The cop sighed. "Then you can explain it to the county judge. We're taking this for evidence." He signaled to his partner, who started disconnecting the camera. Karen's voice rose in panic. "You can't take that! That's HOA property!" The cop didn't even look up. "So is the road, right?" he muttered. I turned slightly away so she wouldn't see me smiling. She spun toward me, eyes burning. "You think you've won? You haven't. The board's meeting tonight. We'll make sure you're shut down permanently." I took a step closer, lowering my voice. "Karen, I'm done arguing. The next time you touch this road, I'll have county legal on your doorstep." She didn't answer, just stormed off, heels crunching the gravel, as the cops loaded the gate's control box into their cruiser. But something about her silence bothered me. Karen never walked away quietly.
And when I saw her make a quick call before driving off, I had a feeling I knew exactly who she was calling. The HOA wasn't finished. They were just getting started. That night, a storm rolled in. Dark clouds, heavy wind, and the kind of thunder that makes the walls shake. I sat on my porch, staring down the road I'd built, rain bouncing off the pavement. The gate was gone now, taken by the cops as evidence. But something told me Karen wasn't done. Around midnight, my dog started barking like crazy. Headlights flickered through the trees. I grabbed my jacket and flashlight, heading down toward the entrance. And there she was, Karen, standing in the rain, umbrella in one hand, phone in the other, with two men in suits beside her, clearly not cops this time. I stopped a few feet away. "You really don't sleep, do you?" She smiled through the storm. "You're not the only one who knows people in the county, Mr. Miller. These men are from the HOA's legal team. We've got an emergency injunction. You're not allowed to use this road until the board reviews your so-called permits." I could hear the thunder rumbling behind her words. "An injunction over a private road?" "Over our road," she corrected, stepping closer. "You think your little farm means you can ignore community laws? We protect this area's value. People like you drag it down." That last part hit harder than she realized. My fists clenched, but I kept calm. "You're gonna regret that sentence." She smirked. "Are you threatening me?" I shook my head. "No. I'm reminding you, you don't know who you're dealing with." I reached into my pocket and handed her a folded document, the paper dry inside a plastic sleeve. She hesitated before taking it. "What's this?" "An official letter from the State Agricultural Commission. They oversee county infrastructure projects. That means they outrank your board, your HOA, and your shiny little clipboard." The men beside her glanced at the paper and went pale. One of them muttered, This overrides local zoning." Karen's face fell as she read the letter. Her voice trembled, barely audible over the rain. "This can't be real." "Oh, it's real. And you know what's better? This letter grants state access to maintain this road for agricultural use, so that means the state police have jurisdiction here starting tomorrow." Her umbrella slipped from her hand. "State police?" "Yeah," I said quietly. "So the next time you call the cops on me, they'll be the ones protecting me. Because this land," I pointed to the pavement shining under the rain, "is now officially part of a state-leased agricultural route." For the first time, Karen didn't have words. She just turned away, shaking her head in disbelief. The lawyers followed, one of them whispering, "We should go." As their headlights disappeared into the storm, I stood there, soaked and exhausted, but finally breathing easy. I looked at the road, the one I built with my own hands, and smiled. Guess the HOA just paved their own way out. The next morning, a county truck arrived to post the new sign at the gate. "State Agricultural Access Road, trespassing prohibited." Karen never showed her face again. The HOA quietly removed my property from their expanded boundary map. And every time I drive down that road, I remember her words. "People like you drag it down." She was right about one thing. I did drag it down. Straight out of her control.